There is a big problem in the online space, and that problem is everybody rushing and getting their head down and hustling. And look, that's cool, that's good. I did it, I recommend it. But one thing that you have to understand, it's not all what it seems making money as a teenager. And I know you might be watching this as a teen, you might be broke, you might be thinking, I want all these things, but it comes with a price, and the price must be paid. And I didn't realize the true cost of the price until it happened. Just a little bit of a backstory, right? So I started my first business as a teenager. I think I was 18, right? I first started just dabbling in buying and selling, right? I ended up turning it into a business that I made a lot of money with, especially as a teenager. I'd never met any other teenager making money like I was. Never met in person. There was a lot of guys way more successful than me. That's not the point of this video. That's not what I'm saying, right? But you have to understand, when you are a teenager and you are grinding so hard, you're actually playing with some of the best years of your life. Now, what I did personally was I figured that making money is going to solve all the issues in my life. And if I watched a video like this and someone was telling me this, it's not going to change your life, and that's not what you really want, I wouldn't have believed them, and I would have done it anyway, right? But please listen to the message in this video, because it might save you a lot of hardship that you don't need to go through. I'm talking from 8 years of experience working by myself on my own. Built a team at one point, I sold that business now, but I spent a lot of time on my own grinding, and it did work. I was all in on my business, right? I was putting in 70-hour weeks as a teenager, right? 70-hour weeks. And I don't say that to flex. It didn't feel great at the time. And what it did was, it made me socially awkward, believe it or not, yeah? You might see me now, I talk confidently on videos, and I'm confident in person, I go on podcasts and this type of thing. But believe me, at the time, I'd walk into my gym, right? I'd go to the gym every day. That's the only time I'd ever leave my office or my house. I'd go from my house to my office, and I'd just go to the gym, right? And I was literally unable to walk up to someone and say, "Hi, how are you?" Because I thought that person's thinking, "Why is this guy talking to me?" I know that might sound crazy, but when you're spending so much time on your own, monk mode, hustling, you're gonna burn your social skills because you're not practicing that muscle. And whilst it's cool making money online 24 hours a day, right, and scaling that up when you're young, the problem is you're sacrificing your social life. And people go to work and going out, they're building the social skills and they're building relationships. Well, I stopped doing all of that. Why? Because I thought that the problems in my mind were going to be fixed by me making more money. But then when I did start making more money, I'll tell you a story, right? So I'm hustling at this point. I'm into my second office. I've got two offices at this point in the same building, but I had that much stock that I needed a second space for it, right? So I'm working out of these two offices. And if you'd have seen me, I was driving around in a little £800 van, a Renault Kangoo from 2004, silver one, right? I used to dress in cheap clothes that I used to buy, like gym sets, all the time. I always looked like I was going on a run, and I was wearing them just because they were cheapest clothes you could get, pretty much, yeah. And if you'd have seen me, I were always darting around. I'd try and run in my office as fast as possible because I didn't want anyone knowing what I was up to, right? It was a security risk because I had stock, but I was very focused on wanting to work all the time. Now, the first profit and loss account I ever did, I was making £10,000 in net profit every single month, right? And that was a massive eye opener for me. That was like one of the worst times of my life. You might be thinking, well, how can that be the worst time of your life if you're making this money, right? Well, the problem that I was having is I didn't focus on any self-development whatsoever. I didn't practice my social skills. I wasn't doing anything out of enjoyment. I was all in on my business, and I wasn't developing any other area of my life. So when the money did come along, I didn't know what to do with it. I had nothing going on. I didn't have a life, right? And that's the problem you can find yourself in. Now, on the flip side, I get everyone's telling you to do monk mode, but doing monk mode when you're living in Dubai or you've got a good social circle, it's completely different from doing a monk mode where I did it in Bradford. Yeah. So bear that in mind, right? You don't have to set yourself to this standard of wanting to work from what people are telling you to do on the internet, right? If you're a teenager and you're watching content like this, congratulations to you. You are on the right path. Okay. You are showing interest. If you're sitting through a video like this with no special effects, no motion graphics, and you're actually listening to the message, you are wired the correct way to have a business, because other people your age are just watching fucking Netflix, they're playing Xbox, and they're doing fuck all with their lives. Got the right mindset, yeah, that's what you need to understand. You've got the right mindset. Now, I try to make the results happen as fast as possible by cramming as much work in one space as possible. And again, I want to be very clear. Sometimes you do have to do that. But I try to just do that forever. But when you do that, you're really burning the quality of your life, right? You're not developing as a person. So even if you do start making money, you've not developed as a person, right? So you have to be able to look and actually analyze yourself and go on a self-development journey as well as making the money. Now, if you start making proper money as a young kid, right, you are going to go through a lot of self-development. You are going to learn a lot of skills. You are going to do a lot more than most people ever do in their lives, right? And that's a good thing. But it's not just all about having a business. And an online business is very lonely to build, yeah? Very, very lonely. So don't beat yourself up about having a day off. Now, not for a minute am I saying you should waste your time. I'm not saying I wish I played Xbox. I'm not saying I wish I partied all the time. I'm not saying those things. But if you go out and do something social and spend a little bit of money on a weekend and you're going and meeting people and you're going and talking to people and you go for some food, or if you do go out drinking, it's not going to be the end of the world. Yeah. You're not running out of time. You've got so much time as a teenager. That's what you have to understand. And you want to be grateful for the fact that you are trying to do something in that period of time. Because if you are, you're already ahead of all these guys that you're watching online. So don't let someone rush you into doing something just because of the product that they're selling and they want you to buy, right? This hustle culture can be bad for you. And I've personally gone through that. And I didn't believe it at the time, but I paid the price the hard way. I learned the lesson the hard way. And sometimes that's what it takes. So if you are grinding your face off as a teen, well, just relax a little bit. I'm not saying do less work. I'm not saying waste your time, but just understand you've got plenty of time and you can still enjoy things in life as you're grinding. And look, I wish I had this message imprinted in my mind when I first started, because I'd have saved a lot of pain and I'd probably be in a better position than I am now, to be honest. And that's the truth of it. So look, it's not all cracked up to what it wants to be, right? Your personal development is just as important as making money, right? Those two things sometimes collide with each other. So be very aware of that if you're trying to get into your own business. And if you are trying to get into your own business, all the best of luck. You've got some very exciting and fun times ahead. And look, if you want to learn about how to start a business from scratch, I've got some videos on this channel perfect for you, and they will be coming up right about here. So make sure you click that and subscribe for more. All the best, guys.